Welcome back to Obsession Engineering at TT 2025. It is Friday afternoon. Traditionally, this would have been senior time, but last year and this year they've shuffled the schedule. The senior is now Saturday, because apparently when you're transmitting live to the world, having a sporting event on a Saturday is a much better way of doing things. But instead, Friday is Superstock, Sidecar and Supertwin Day. The sidecars got carried over from Wednesday because of the weather. Right, on the grid with Martin and Rob and the team, because I'm doing fuel stop with them. A little bit of stress. They had a course inspection lap about an hour, just over an hour ago, so that riders could go around, check conditions, basically have a little shakedown, a little warm-up almost, and just check if there are any damp patches and that sort of stuff. When Martin came back in, something had flicked him and broken the rain light on his bike. So they've been very, very busy fitting into the rain light so they're allowed to start the race. I say rain light because short circuit would be a rain light. Here it's a visibility light, because apparently you need a small red light to be able to see the really fast moving motorcycle in front of you. There's a logic there somewhere, I just don't know what it is. Right, but the team are ready. Rob and the boys have done a sterling job getting that fixed. I think that's probably a little bit of stress, but they've got it done. And now we just need to wait for the bing bongs before we start pushing bikes down the road towards the start line and get this 3-lap Superstock race flying. Right, I'm not doing too many interviews on the grid today because we've been through a lot of the stockers before, but Mark, you get a special mention because this is start number 98, and if this goes to plan and then the twins later and the senior should be start 100. How many years did it take you to get here?
She's been 26 years. Done at the Manx as a newcomer in 99, and first visit to TT was 2000, so yeah, 25 years at TT but 26 years on the island.
So is it 100 TT starts or 100?
This is 100 TT starts if the weather gods look after us, yeah. So this is to say this is 98, maybe 99 later on hopefully, and then it's all that up for the gods. I think I've probably had about 15 or 20 Manx Grand Prix starts, so yeah, we're over the 100 starts on the circuit, but not at TT, the special one.
Of course. Right, so you're back out on the BMW today. What's your fastest lap on that so far?
This week, fastest lap, I think it's just over 123. It's not, you know, it is what it is. I'm struggling with my knee a bit. It's getting older, and you know, the rest of the lads are getting quicker as well. So it's harder to stay up there. But we've got 2 bronze replicas on her. So yeah, everything's going the right way. I'm enjoying it. That's the main thing. I'm smiling.
Exactly. Right, I'll leave you to it, Mark. Cheers.
Cheers, Dave. Thanks. Bye.
We've had a special request for this interview on the comments and former videos. The fans from back home have been asking for a Mitch Reese interviews. Right, you're a newcomer, you're going fast. Most important thing, are you enjoying it?
I am, definitely, 100%. How can you not? It's the Isle of Man TT.
Right, plan for the afternoon?
Go round and round and come back and just have some fun.
Cool. Is there any targets for lap times or anything like that?
Nah, to be fair, it's one of those things, you know, haven't had a dry lap yet, so it's just a building thing. It'll just come. If it comes, if it not, then doesn't. So at the end of the day, I've achieved more than I thought I was going to, so I'm happy.
Cool. Any changes to the bike for this one?
Nah, nothing major. Just a little change in compression, but that's about it. So
cool. Right, good luck, Mitch.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Martin is next up at the gate. It's bank holiday here, and there's tens of thousands of visitors, so it's busy down the start line. Right, away he goes. Right, all the riders are away for the Superstock race. So I'm just going to go and put the camera down, pull me fireproof overalls back up and wander down into pit lane. It's 3-lap race, but you have to do the pit stop at the end of lap 1 because they don't want people coming in and out of pits at random times. And so I shall don the overalls, put the camera down, head into there and hopefully just hold a fire extinguisher while somebody else does all the hard work. I mean, I'm very much hoping I don't have to use the fire extinguisher, but I'm there if they do need it. So, I'll see you in a little bit after the race. So Superstock race is coming to conclusion. John McGuinness and Dave O'Johnson, who just pulled into Parc Fermé behind me, Dean Harrison, winner again on Superstocks. David Todd second by 16 seconds. Dean actually had a bigger lead and sort of backed it down a little bit on the last lap. Davey's bike didn't want to restart for pit stop and probably lost in 7 seconds, maybe 10 seconds, something like that. And I think that really took the pressure off Dean. Michael Dunlop was third, another 16 behind Davey. And then I believe it was Mr. Hillier in fourth. So decent result. Bikes are still going round. Martin's halfway round his last lap. I walked out of the pit lane and saw Eric and Mark Parrott's team looking a little pensive, so I was a bit concerned. Apparently he's hit a bird. That's right, Mark Parrott has hit a bird going around TT, but may have broken his arm. He has spoken to his missus, so we know he's basically okay, but unfortunately he might not be hitting his 100 starts this week, which is a real shame, but at least he's mostly in one bit. I suspect the bird has come off a little worse. Right, and because the Superstock race is nearly done, it is time for me to come and drag my trolley up here and get ready for the most important race of the week, Supertwin Race 2. Right, sidecars are cycling through at the end of their race. Now, that's one of them over the line now. The Supertwin, as you can see, is through scrutineering, ready to go. Because I'm paranoid, I've checked everything 17 times, including checking all of the clickers on the suspension and stuff like that. Because there's actually been a hint of sunshine today. It was actually quite warm early, but the wind's quite fresh. I have put the Speedycom cover over the tank, so thanks to Ian at Speedycom for supplying me that. That just keeps the sunlight off it, stops the fuel expanding inside. Right, bike has had its first heat cycle. It'll get another one with about 25 minutes to go. In a few minutes we'll have a bing bong message. I can take the fuel out of the trolley and take it up and fill my fuel bowser up. And then, of course, we'll be pushing everything up onto the road, getting Lance ready, getting the bike warmed up for the third time so that the oil's nicely up to temperature and the cases are hot and all the rest of it. And then you can go and have a ride around the sunshine. So we're on the road. That means it's nearly time to race. 10 minutes till the leaders set off and we are P28 on the grid. And so we're going to be 4 minutes 40 after the leaders, I think, if my maths is about right, which it rarely is. So yes, we've got just short of 15 minutes to go. And now I remember, I'm a little bit nervous because my baby is going out to play. But I look round at the other riders and I realise how nervous most of them get. Lance is fairly chill. But I now remember that thing where you get a knot in your stomach. And it's like the last hour before the race was always worse for me. And the build-up sort of started like the day before. So on TT race week, you've basically got a week of being a bit nervous. And it's quite easy to get a little bit snappy at the team and just like, you know, anything, every little thing can really like trigger you just because you're a little bit on edge all the time because the nerves are building up. But then once I actually got on the bike, once I had my helmet on, I was better. And once I was sort of cycling down towards the start, I was basically okay. And once you let off the clutch, then you're absolutely fine because the only thing that mattered then is what's a few hundred metres in front of you. And so I do miss it. I do miss the excitement of going down like Bagara in 5th gear, like throwing the bike like around and sort of dodging the walls and just trying to go as fast as you can on the best bit of tarmac in the world. But I am comfortable with my decision not to do that anymore. Don't go wrong, if they offered me a parade lap, then I might be tempted. But yeah, there is a little bit of jealousy that he gets to ride around and do awesome little things on my awesome little bike. But I am comfortable with my position because now I remember how nervous I used to get and I don't need that anymore. Right then, Lance, last race of TT 2025 for us. Are you excited? The weather looks about perfect.
Already the last one, yeah. It looks like we only started yesterday. Yeah, very excited. Weather looking mint. Report is only dump patches at the hairpin and Keppelstowe Gate. So we've been used to that all week. So yeah, near perfect conditions.
So this is basically go out and have some fun and go playing, basically.
Yeah. Trash the ponies out of it.
Exactly, yes. Right then, Chris, you didn't quite catch us last time, but you've made some adjustments now, haven't you?
Yeah, I still might not catch him. Listen, again, I hope I catch him. it's got to make a difference. It's got to make it more rideable, I'd like to think, because it was a little bit scary from Ginger Hall through to Ramsey. It was a little bit fruity, so I'm hoping it's a bit better than that.
Cool. Good luck, Chris, and hopefully we beat you.
Thanks, but yeah, whatever. Cheers, Dave.
The last couple of twins are setting off now in the, I suppose, excitement of getting Lance sent away and stuff like that. I just sort of pushed him down to the start, didn't have my camera in my pocket, but that doesn't matter. He is down the road, which means I need to set off down to pit lane. I mean, I've got 18 minutes still. In fact, before that, I might go to the loo, because turns out, even in the pit crew, I get a little bit nervous, but that's probably a good thing. So, right, little toilet trip, then down to pit lane, and fingers are just crossed. 3 laps he needs to do, pit stop at the end of 1. If he has fun, that's the important thing. If he has fun and goes fast, even better. And so, fingers crossed, I'll talk to you in about an hour. So Lance is on his last lap. All the pit duties are done, so I've got the live timing up. We are currently P20th. First lap was a tiny bit slower than the other day, but being as he had a little tip off the 600, it might be a little bit of confidence, or you never know, a little run wide or something somewhere. I also have the stopwatch going, so I know we've basically got about a minute and a half, 2 minutes or so before he should be back, which ties in with the timings on here. So fingers are crossed. We'll just get him safe across the line. And hopefully he's got a smile on his face. Here we go, across the line. That'll do, across the line. I'll give it to Chris Moore to Rabbit. He got us on that one. He got us, didn't he? He got us, but we're in. We're the next one to roll through. Top 20. P19. That'll do. Well done, boy. Well done, mate.
That was a good one.
Right, you seem happy about that?
Yeah, that's what I wanted. Top 20.
Top 20 TT rider, that's pretty good, isn't it?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah,
Just
well done,
do
mate. Cool.
Yeah. Pretty windy up there. Got a crash on the last lap, so we had yellow flags and we had to calm down.
Okay,
but yeah, massively, yeah. Really happy. We had a good battle with Chris.
Yeah.
Told me for a few miles, so yeah, that was great.
It's 1-1 is what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well done, mate.
When you passed me, I just stayed behind and I'm rolling off just to stay behind. And
I thought I'd gapped you and all round.
No. Up to Glen Ellen, and yeah, I stayed, but.
So what you're saying is our bike's fast enough?
Yeah. No, it's mint bike, yeah.
Cool. Excellent.
Love it.
I'm just pleased we've had 2 decent results.
Yeah.
You're happy.
Oh,
that makes
definitely.
it worthwhile.
Yeah. Really happy.
Well done, mate. That got a little bit emotional at the end. Lance was talking to Manx Radio, and he'd mentioned this to me before he went out, that might be his last race on the mountain course. Yeah, and I get it. He wanted to be a TT racer. He's done that. He's done top 20 at TT now as well, which is fantastic. But the time, the money, the commitment, everything else, the stress levels, the worry on his mum's face, everything. This place is hard work. When it goes well, it's amazing, but it is always hard work. And I think Lance has ticked the box. He's lived the dream he wanted to live. So, quite pleased to be part of that for him. Right, get a man up and load a trolley up and go down the bottom and get back to the boring reality of life. That was good though. Top 20. And back in the awning, it's been another relatively long day at TT 2025, but the result has been positive. Very happy rider because he's top 20, very relieved me because we've put him in the top 20, and the bike has behaved itself. It's finished every lap it started. We've had no major issues anywhere, and so happy days. All we've got to do now is hang around for the senior tomorrow if the weather plays ball, and so we're back shortly with some, hopefully, more race action. So we're here with Mark, who isn't quite going to get to his 100 starts this week because you had a bit of an altercation with a seagull. Tell us about it, Mark.
It was just coming around the 33rd and it just decided to fly up out the gutter. So you're probably pulling around there realistically about 140 on the big bike, and it just flew up straight into my arm. And it was just bang, just snapped. And that's it, yeah. The bird didn't come off very well, which I hasten to add.
I have heard a rumour that the bird is goosed.
It's definitely goosed, yeah. Most of its internals are down in the paddock here somewhere. Got washed off the leathers while I was in the hospital.
Right, so you didn't actually notice straight away, did you?
No, I at the point of impact, and as I got down to Keppel Gate, I thought maybe the clip-on was broken because everything just seemed a bit vague down in that area. All the clutch lever was snapped. As I come round Keppel Gate, I'm trying to sort out why it's not happening. And I noticed then that the clip-on was perfect, and it was my actual arm that was bending between the elbow and the wrist. So that kind of made me think, ooh, I don't think there's meant to be a joint there. I'm not a doctor, I'm not great with bones, but I've never seen a joint there before. And it was quite a weird feeling to see your arm bending and your hand not doing what you think it is. But yeah, we managed to nurse it down to the Craig and pull in. So, you know, all wasn't lost, but it could have been a lot worse.
Did you manage to go and get some liquid pain relief last night, though?
I did, yes, yeah. The stuff they gave me in hospital was good, but it wears off too quick. So we sorted some pain relief for ourselves, courtesy talk of the town. Yeah.
So the big question, I suppose, is, Mark, your 98 starts. Does that mean you're coming back next year to try and get the 100? Well,
it would be rude not to, wouldn't it? The opportunity is there, and yeah, I think we're going to have to go for it. So we're going to have to get something sorted out and get back next year. Yeah, yep, cool. Definitely.
Well, I'm pleased you're in mostly one piece. Bit of a shame we can't say the same about the seagull.
Oh, thankfully we can't. That'll teach it. It won't be doing that again, will it?
You can tell it's been a relatively long TT because this is about a third take to even start this bit of the video. My brain, I think, has just melted now. Right, it is Saturday evening. It is 10 minutes to 6 o'clock, and in a few minutes the boys are going out for a course inspection lap. There has been a list of slightly damp patches. And so Martin and a good few chunk of the other riders are going to go and do the course inspection lap, as much as anything to actually wake up a little bit, because it has been a long day at the end of a long fortnight of being busy waiting. And so it'll just give them a chance to get warmed up, get their eye in a little bit. So Martin is about ready to go out. I'm doing pit crew for him again. And so, yeah, it is nearly time to go and finally get some bikes running around for the final time of TT 2025. While the course inspection lap's going on, we've got a couple of minutes. We're going to look at what makes a really fast TT superbike. And actually we're looking at a Superstock bike because the absolute lap record around here is on a Superstock bike, and the fastest Honda, especially this week, has been Dean Harrison on his Superstock bike. Quite a lot of the riders go faster on the Stockers than they do on full-blown superbikes, and there's a few reasons for that. But let's first look at what differences there are between a short-circuit Superstock bike and a roads bike. So most of the spec is pretty similar. Standard fork externals with cartridges in them, standard yokes or triple clamps or whatever you want to call them, standard wheels, standard brakes. Right, stock bikes, standard brakes. Round here the brakes don't get a terribly hard time. Yes, somewhere like the end of Sulby Straight there's a big braking area, but the 3 miles before that you've not used the brakes, and about the 3 miles after it you barely use them as well. Brakes have plenty of time to cool down, so you don't need really big brakes around here like a big short-circuit superbike. The rear brakes do get quite a lot of use though, and so unlike a short-circuit Superstock bike, these are allowed aftermarket mass cylinders for the thumb brakes or scooter brakes or whatever, basically as a safety item, because over the crests and the jumps and stuff you will use the back brake quite a lot more, so they want that to actually work. The two biggest differences for a TT bike though, big fuel tank. I think this is the Morowaki tank, and so this will be 24 litre capacity, and it comes under the seat and fills quite a lot of the subframe up. Now that means a lot of the electronics have to move, and so a lot of the Fireblade teams, they'll fit stuff down on top of the engine. That's fairly common, but this, because it's the Morowaki one, comes with spaces in the subframe to actually fit ECUs and connectors and relay boxes and stuff like that. The other big difference for a TT Superstock bike is you're allowed a quick release wheel kit. Now because this is Superstock, in the Superstock race you're not allowed to do a wheel change, which is part of the reason they dropped the race from 4 laps to 3. But you are allowed a quick release kit in case you're running a Superstock bike in the Senior. So the quick release kit is basically the section of brake on this side, the like mount in the chain adjuster in the swinging arm, it has a threaded boss in it, and it then has the underslung caliper tucked out the way as well, and so there'll be little rollers in the swinging arm, or little guides, and so you undo the big nut here, that takes the whole spindle out, and then the wheel, you just have to hook the chain off, hook the chain over this tooth bit out the way so it holds out the way, one wheel out, next one in. Because the caliper's underslung, it's easier to get the wheel in, hook the chain back on, pull the wheel back into place, screw that in, and just buzz it up with a buzz gun, torque it up, job done. So they're the two biggest changes, are the tank and the quick release swinging arm. The rest of the bike is basically a short circuit Superstock bike. The screen is a bit bigger because you need to get out of the wind, and along the bike you'll see loads and loads of lock wire. I use other things, locked wire, Loctite and torque check and stuff. A lot of the teams will still lock wire absolutely everything because you do not want anything vibrating loose. And to make a point of how good a Superstock bike is around the Isle of Man, James Hind on this has done 132 mile an hour average lap this week, and that is absolutely stunning. And he has one more race to go, the Senior TT, and he will be hoping that he can lap at that sort of speeds again and hopefully get himself top 5, which would be an amazing result for a privateer team at TT 2025. Right then, Martin, you've been out and done the course inspection lap. There's not a lot of damp patches left, but it's not great, is it?
Windy. It's very windy.
Did you nearly get blown off?
That'd be lucky, wouldn't it? Not. I was just saying to a few people, it was very windy. Like, it snapped the handlebars a few times through gateways and things like that. And then going up the mountain mile when you're going in a straight line, but you're actually sort of leant over 20 degrees just to keep in a straight line. It's the windiest I've ever had here in 4 years. So if they run it, there'll be a lot of people go, but we'll see what happens. They're up against it, aren't they?
AJ Ventnor, first time we've caught up with you this week, and it's right before the Senior. How's your week been going?
Yeah, we've had a good week. Obviously the conditions have been tricky for everyone, so I'm beating my personal best laps every time we go out, so I'm sort of enjoying that. And we're riding at the TT, riding the TT course is something not everybody can do, and the fact that we can do it makes it fantastic.
You've been on the sighting lap this evening, and it's a bit windy out there, but what do you make of it?
Look, the sun's shining, the roads, they're drier than we've had, but the wind is blowing quite hectic. For me, I'd still ride because, like I was saying to my guys, it's a long way to come to not ride. But I'm also not doing 130 mile an hour lap, so I'll go with whatever they say, but it's still fun to ride.
Cool. All right. Well, if it goes, good luck.
Good man. Thank you very much.
Marcus Simpson, you're being corporate and trying to do your leathers up. Right, you've done the lap as well. What did you make of it?
I'm not racing. I've made my decision. We spoke about this the other day about the wind and stuff like that. We ride motorbikes to have fun. That is not fun. The wind direction has changed. It's a lot stronger. The funny thing is the damp patches is the best they've been all week.
Yeah. Well, that's because the wind's dry now. No, ladies and gentlemen, he isn't a long way away. It's just Chris Kinley. Chris, the Manx weather's playing up again.
It is, Dave Houston, it really is, and it's been a tough TT for all the competitors, all the fans, all you lot helping out with the teams and stuff, and you wouldn't want to be in Gary Thompson's shoes now, would you, Dave Houston?
No, not at all. It's a tough decision to make. We know whatever he decides in the end, he's obviously taking rider safety as like number one priority, but if they can get the show away safely, obviously they will do if they can.
I spoke to Hutchie. Hutchie said it was all right. Spoke to Marcus Simpson, you spoke to earlier on. He said no. And then, the gust and wind, because the wind has shifted. It's now not blowing from the south anymore. It's blowing from the west of the island. So I think it was one of the riders was telling me, Rob Hodson said that he braked into Craig the Bar and the thing just carried him on another 10 or 15 yards, missed his braking point and ran a little bit straight on. So these are things that Milky has been relaying up to the clerk of the course. And you've been here before, Dave, you know what this place is like. It can change, but this wind is a completely different direction as it has been for the whole 2 weeks, and it's thrown a lot of people off. Damp patches don't seem to be a problem, this is better than what it has been all week, but that wind's a big problem.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed, I'm sure we'll hear something soon.
Thanks, Dave.
Cheers, Chris. So unfortunately we have had the bing bong attention paddock word from Gary Thompson, the clerk of the course, and unfortunately due to the high wind speed and the fact that it's actually in a different direction to the guys have had the rest of the fortnight, it has been deemed unsafe to race, which is understandable when these boys are trying to do 130 plus mile an hour average laps around here. If the conditions aren't right, we ain't going. And so unfortunately that is everything done at TT 2025. So thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed our sort of behind the scenes paddock chats and all the rest of it. And we'll be back soon for some more motorbike fun. Bye for now.